Welcome to the Californian Reservation for Extinct Species and Taxonomists, or C.R.E.S.T for short. My name is Carol Ferris. I am the director of this facility, and it is my job to ensure the continued safety of the animals housed here. Here, we house 21 species across different time periods of prehistory. Our job is to care for the genera of extinct animals that were brought over from Isla Nublar and Sorna, as well as those who were engineered by outside factors and purchased, either left to their own devices or to be horribly mistreated by black market merchants. We work with the DFW to contain and secure these magnificent creatures, and that's why we believe you are here today. With your help and knowledge, we will be imparting to you that we can all work together to ensure a peaceful coexistence. When you first arrive, you'll be greeted by our staff facilities designed to keep our prehistoric company comfortable. As guests, you'll be directed to the check-in building, where you'll be outfitted with a special band for your wrist. These bands have unique trackers in them, tailored to each individual guest, and will be used to locate you should an emergency arise. From here, you will board our tour, which also doubles as transportation to other areas of the reserve. As you depart, you will be greeted by the first 3 animals we house here in the valley: Corinthosaurus, Allura titan, and Gigantoraptor. Corinthosaurus, first discovered in Alberta, Canada, gets its name from its head crest that resembles that of a Corinthian helmet. Its name translates to helmet lizard. As with other crested hadrosaurs, it's believed that the special chambers its crest contained allowed it to vocalize with other members of its species across vast distances. Allura titan, a relative of Corinthosaurus, was found in Russia and was one of the last non-avian dinosaurs to go extinct during the end of the Cretaceous period. Like Corinthosaurus, Allura titan is known for its unique head crest, which resembles that of a hatchet. And no, its name doesn't have anything to do with a hatchet. You'd be surprised how many people think that. Allura titan means swan titan, and you can see that in not only its long neck, but in the beautiful colors that it sports. Next is the beautiful yet menacing Gigantoraptor. I know what you're thinking. It's a giant oviraptor. Well, you'd be correct in that assumption. Gigantoraptor is an oviraptorosaur belonging to a unique clade called Caenornathids. Gigantoraptors from Asia, specifically Mongolia, may have an appearance not all too different from today's cassowaries, and have been observed lashing out with their long, powerful legs to deliver lethal kicks like that of the secretary bird. Gigantoraptors also pride themselves in not having their personal space invaded, so we do well to steer clear of them and simply admire their beauty from afar. In the next enclosure, you'll be treated to the armored Ankylosaurus and the hard-hitting Pachycephalosaurus. Both herbivores are denizens of what is now modern-day Montana, Wyoming, and the Dakotas. Back then, it was known as the Hell Creek Formation and housed an entire ecosystem of animals, some of whose names may be familiar to you. Ankylosaurus is known for its tank-like build. Ankylosaurus is also armored from head to tail, and yes, that includes its eyelids. The armored plating on its back made it difficult for all but only the most tenacious of predators to penetrate its hide. However, its weapon of choice is its thick bone club tail. One well-placed hit and the threat in question was no longer that. Also note, rolling it onto its back does not mean it would get stuck like a turtle, as a group of delinquents found out the hard way when they attempted to do so using a forklift. Not only did they fail, but they found themselves seriously injured and the forklift was wrecked beyond repair. Pachycephalosaurus, famous for its bony domed head, boasts powerful hind legs, reaching speeds up to 20 miles per hour. Here, it is observed that they like to engage in intraspecific combat quite often, as younger Pachy's like to test their strength as they mature. Pachycephalosaurus is quite famous in the black market for underground saurian fights. In fact, this specific group was rescued during a sting operation in Malta. They are docile unless provoked, but they are wary of humans given their past experiences with them. You are now in our hub area. Here, you may indulge in the many amenities provided to you, but we implore that you visit our cinema where you can learn more about the animals housed here and about prehistory in general. From here, you can visit the many surrounding carnivore enclosures. They are separate from the other animals to keep the herbivore population stable. The first enclosure you'll come across if you decide to exit the tour is Concavinator. Concavinator is a predator from the early Cretaceous period. Fun fact, it's part of the C.R.E.S.T family, so it's related to dinosaurs like Giganotosaurus. Just get a good look at its head shape, and you'll see what I mean later on. Concavinator is famous for the hump on its back right above its hip. Paleontologists have not been able to find a purpose this hump would have had, and even with the live specimens we have here, we still aren't sure what it's for. Across from Concavinator, you'll find the Utahraptor. Now, here's a dinosaur that looks you in the eye. Friendly tip we learned, don't break eye contact with it, especially if it's just you and one of them. Then simply back away slowly. Now, Utahraptor is a part of the Dromaeosauridae family, meaning it's related to dinosaurs like Velociraptor. It is the biggest known member of its family, with others like Dakotaraptor and Echinobator not too far behind it. Utahraptor possesses a large killing claw in the form of a sickle on the second toe of each foot. The claw is believed to grow up to over 9 inches in length. This claw, instead of being used to slash its prey, would allow for the Utahraptor to latch onto larger prey or restrain smaller prey as it used its sharp claws and teeth to dispatch them. The next carnivore in the hub is a personal favorite of mine. It's called the Cryolophosaurus, and it's a carnivore from the Jurassic era, more importantly, from Antarctica. When Cryolophosaurus lived in Antarctica, it would have been a lush forest filled with life and ample prey for this magnificent carnivore to hunt. On top of its head sits a beautiful crest, ordained with vibrant colors. It is believed this crest would be used to attract mates and intimidate rivals. Is that a T-Rex? Not quite, but no one could blame you for the confusion, as even paleontologists argue about if this dinosaur is just Asian T-Rex or not. Tarbosaurus, whose name means alarming lizard, and trust me, you'd be fairly alarmed if you were on the same side of the fence as this guy. Tarbosaurus hails from Cretaceous Asia and is the second largest member of the Tyrannosaur family, just coming in a few feet shorter than T-Rex itself. Tarbosaurus may not be as large, but it is every bit as impressive as its larger cousin, boasting a sense of smell and sight just as good as T-Rex. You could bet your bottom dollar that Tarbosaurus was just as efficient as a hunter. Now, on to our most popular carnivore here at C.R.E.S.T, the Carcharodontosaurus. Does the name sound familiar? Why yes, you are correct, and I'm glad to see you have been paying attention. This is the dinosaur I said that Concavinator belonged to. These two are our twin sisters, Carrie and Cassidy. While not only being the namesake for its family group, Carcharodontosaurus is named for its teeth, which bear some resemblance to that of the great white shark. Dinosaurs from this family are known for their streamlined builds, despite their large sizes, and their sharp teeth made for shearing chunks of flesh from its victims, virtually eating their prey alive. They also have the benefit of usually being larger than their rival family, the Tyrannosaurs. However, just so you know, Tyrannosaurs and Carcharodontosaurs lived on separate continents at different times. Sorry to burst your bubble. Now, if I may direct your attention to the center of the hub. This is the newest installation to the facility. Our lagoon houses 2 unique species of marine reptiles. The first is the Archelon. This giant sea turtle swam the ancient seas of North America during the Cretaceous period, where it would have eaten creatures from jellyfish to crustaceans. We rescued this particular group that had been engineered to breed more Archelon for the specific purpose of being served as a delicacy to rich customers off the eastern seaboard of the United States. Bunking with the Archelons is Shonisaurus. Shonisaurus is among one of the largest ichthyosaurs to exist, coming in with an estimated length of over 21 meters. The ichthyosaurs were a clade of marine reptile that just so happened to look like dolphins and probably filled a niche similar to them. So, if ichthyosaurs were the dolphin, then Shonisaurus was the orca. The Shonisaurus is also the oldest living creature here at the reserve, having lived over 235 million years ago. Following the tour from here, you enter Herbivore Valley 1. In this valley, you'll be greeted by 4 specimens, the first being Alamosaurus, one of 2 titanic denizens. Alamosaurus is named after the Ojo Alamo Formation in New Mexico, where it was discovered. Alamosaurus has the privilege of being the only titanosaur sauropod to be discovered in North America. In paleontology, a skull for this titan has never been found, despite the numerous amount of its bones that have been uncovered. However, due to those in the paleocuration field, we can now paint a very good picture of it. Next to it is the small but popular cousin of the Stegosaurus, Kentrosaurus. Kentrosaurus hails from Jurassic Africa in what would have been modern-day Tanzania. Its rows of plates that turn into sharp spines that run to the tip of its tail, combined with the sharp spines that protrude from its shoulders, give this stegosaur a unique look. Though small in stature, Kentrosaurus is no pushover. This makes it a favorite among the underground dinosaur fighting rings, some of which here were rescued from them. The others came from an attempt to smuggle the dinosaurs into the country to be featured in a zoo. Now, you'll have to keep your eyes peeled for this one, as it's fast, so if you blink, you'll miss it. This is Coelophysis. Having originally lived 225 million years ago, it's the second oldest animal here in the reserve, and due to its small size, it's able to live peacefully among the herbivores. Believe it or not, these little guys were resurrected to be pets for those that could afford them. Despite their size, Coelophysis is voracious, and while it may not be able to take down Kentrosaurus, the same can't be said for us humans. At the end of the first valley to greet you on the way out is our Dimetrodon. Contrary to popular belief, it is not a dinosaur. It existed during the Permian era, which was right before the Triassic, before the dinosaurs rose to prominence. Dimetrodon is classified as a synapsid, to which mammals eventually derive from, making Dimetrodon kind of like a common ancestor. Makes me wonder, if it hadn't gone extinct during the Permian period, what would it have evolved into if it got the chance to live alongside the dinosaurs it's so often compared to? We've now reached our second hub area. Here, you will find more amenities such as restaurants, drinks, and souvenir shops. We also heavily encourage you to visit our amphitheater, where at 1 p.m. every day, you'll get the chance to learn about one of our animals as we prep their enclosure and make sure it's up to date and able to keep them content. You'll also find our acquisition building. Here is how we locate, triangulate, and rescue the fauna that we house today. Our staff tirelessly work around the clock in an effort to keep man and beast as safe as possible. Who knows? Maybe one day you'll walk through those doors to join the effort yourself. The learning doesn't stop here, as our Innovation Center is filled with state-of-the-art equipment designed for hands-on education for adults and children alike. Or perhaps you'd like to get your hands dirty and dig up your very own dinosaur, then visit our fossil zone. Just because these magnificent creatures are being brought back from extinction doesn't mean that the field that makes all this possible needs to go unappreciated. Next to the Innovation Center is our Therizinosaurus enclosure. It is our only isolated herbivore, as it is fiercely territorial, tolerating nothing else in its space. Therizinosaurus means scythe lizard, and it gets that name from its 3 large claws. While it can use its claws for defense, its primary use is for foraging and eating plants. However, when I look at it, I can't help but see Freddy Krueger. It even has an attitude to match. Once continuing on the tour, you'll enter Herbivore Valley 2. So, right off the bat, let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say Titanosaur. This part of the reserve is home to Dreadnoughtus, an absolute unit of a sauropod. Its size estimates are believed to give Argentinosaurus a run for its money. The name means fears nothing, and when you're this large, I'd imagine there would be very little to worry about. Here's a dinosaur that needs no introduction. Triceratops, the famous rival to the T-Rex, famous for those 3 horns. This Triceratops was rescued from some rustlers looking to make a quick buck from the keratin found in its horns. Paleontologists often wondered about the family and herd dynamics surrounding this dinosaur, and let me tell you, it's picky about who it shares its space with. Luckily, for Pentaceratops, it's one of the few dinosaurs Triceratops likes having around. Pentaceratops' name means 5-horned face because of the 2 large brow horns, the nose horn, and the 2 horns found on each side of the jugular bone. Pentaceratops lived about 10 million years before Triceratops and lived in prehistoric New Mexico, but went extinct about 3 million years before Alamosaurus would arrive on the scene. Just like our Triceratops, Pentaceratops was rescued from the same rustlers, and it could be why they have a peaceful dynamic together, with them having lived in such close proximity to each other. Younger members of both species can be seen doing what we believe is the equivalent of playing together, while the adults keep a watchful eye over them. Last animal to spot in the valley is the ever-nimble Archaeornithomimus. Try saying that 5 times fast. Archaeornithomimus lived in Cretaceous Asia and is related to the more famous Gallimimus. Archaeornithomimus and other members of its family bear close resemblance to that of a modern-day ostrich, and, like ostriches, they boast powerful hind legs, capable of letting them reach speeds of up to 60 miles an hour. Also, like ostriches, they have sharp claws on their feet, capable of disemboweling predators if backed into a corner. Our last enclosure is our newest one. We acquired the specimen known as a Triceraptor a few months ago from Malta. They were hard to pin down, being able to outmaneuver the DFW for quite some time. A Triceraptor is from Lake Cretaceous, Alberta, Canada, making it among one of the last non-avian dinosaurs to go extinct. A Triceraptor originally is actually a small member of the Dromaeosaur family, only weighing about 33 pounds and reaching only about 6 feet long. As a matter of fact, paleontologists just reassigned its order on the family tree, making it more closely related to other tiny raptors like Bambiraptor. However, thanks to genetic tampering being used to bring this animal back to life, it is now more up to scale with its more famous cousin. With that, the tour has come to an end. I thank you for visiting our facility, and please spread the word about what we are doing here. Our goal is not to create another Jurassic Park or Jurassic World. We simply wish to let these animals live their life and let life find a way, as John Hammond once so eloquently phrased it. Take care, and we hope to see you all again.